Hey guys, welcome back to my Iowa Quarterback Road to Glory series. In this video, we'll be showing you year one, as it was kind of uneventful and I turned a lot of what happened into just very small minutes. Had a lot of practices, a lot of them going pretty poorly, honestly. Not a lot of experience gained for the first couple of weeks, no challenging for the first roster spot, not even the second quarterback spot. Ultimately, we started the season 5-0 after we beat Minnesota, and then from there it was just loss after loss after loss as we lose a close one to Iowa, lose a very close one again to Northwestern. We picked up some upgrades along the way just from practicing every single week, but we were still managing to lose after going up 5-0. And as you can see, even when we were winning games, Wisconsin just managed to come back and completely obliterate us. So we had to keep practicing, had to keep working, and it was getting a little easier as the upgrades were coming, but it was still very difficult. I was still struggling to find myself competing for the second spot, ultimately until this practice, and we ended up facing Purdue right after that, in which we lost yet another game, but that's okay because we ended up winning the position battle for quarterback 2 on Iowa's depth chart. So now we were put in to do extra points and field goals, ultimately winning our sixth game there against Michigan. And in the next practice, right after that, we actually managed to go and challenge for the first string spot, in which we completely won. It wasn't really a challenge. We found ourselves just completely dominating practice from there on out, and we got the opportunity to start in a bowl game against NIU, our first collegiate game, but first we ended up upgrading some more skills. Now, in this game, we struggled a little bit, to be honest. NIU had a very good defense, which is why they're 10-3. We found a target very easily there at the beginning, and very early on, it seemed like everything was going our way as we found Taylor there for another big gain. But very quickly, things became more difficult. I was starting to force things there. I was making throws and errors that I normally wouldn't make. We'd find a big play every now and again, as you'd see there, but we'd end up just coming back and making a ton of unnecessary mistakes that could have and probably should have cost us the game. Like this one right here, where we threw it right to the defender. That was one of 3 turnovers in this game from us. And no matter what, it seemed like we were still in it. We were still finding ways to stay in the game. And here's another example of just another stupid mistake by us. Throwing our second interception, we're in their pretty much red zone, and we're still making mistakes and giving them opportunities. Luckily, our defense was holding strong, which is what I wanted, and here we found our first touchdown with our legs to tie the game up. But the game should have been a lot more one-sided than it actually was. It should not be a 10-0 game, as we found our second rushing touchdown of the day. And ultimately, they end up driving down the field and tying it. I forced this throw because it's an end of game thing, and we take it into overtime. Ultimately, they end up scoring on their first possession of overtime as we looking and scrambling out of the pocket to try and do something with our legs. And we end up giving it to Wick to finish it off and tie the game up. Ultimately, we end up scoring, they end up scoring, nothing really happens until this big play here. And we end up giving it to Wick to win our first bowl game with Iowa. Our first game in general. We have our play of the game here. Really big play from us. This was during overtime. I ended up finding a wide open lane into the end zone, and I'm genuinely shocked that we ended up winning that game after making so many mistakes. You can see we had some pretty good stats. At the end of the season, going into the preseason, we are ranked 27th in the nation, and we're set up for a really good year next year, hopefully a better year than what we had, where we just had to sit and wait. Now that we're the first string quarterback, we should be able to do more things and hopefully crack the top 25, make a good bowl game, a better bowl game, and have a chance at playing for the national championship is ultimately the goal. But not a lot happened in year one. We're hoping that year two is a lot better. And I thank you guys for watching this series. I appreciate everybody for sticking it out. And if you guys enjoy the series and want to see more, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.